When David Toborowsky and Annie Suwan first appeared on 90 Day Fiancé, few fans expected them to become one of the franchise's most enduring love stories. Their 24-year age gap and vastly different backgrounds sparked skepticism, with many believing their romance would never survive beyond the cameras. Yet, more than 8 years later, David and Annie remain one of the strongest and most admired couples to emerge from the show. Over the years, the pair have shared some of their most intimate milestones with viewers, from their wedding to David's health transformation, Annie's entrepreneurial ventures, and their long-awaited journey to parenthood through IVF. But one surprising twist in their story has left fans with questions. Why are David and Annie still in Thailand months after welcoming the daughter, Mintira, in March 2025? While David has made no secret of his love for America, it seems Annie isn't yet ready to leave her home country. Their decision to remain in Thailand highlights the deep push and pull between David's life in the US and Annie's strong family roots in Thailand. From Thailand to Arizona, a journey of love and compromise. David and Annie's story began in Thailand when they met in a bar while David was in his late 40s. At the time, David was recovering from personal struggles, including a divorce and financial hardships. Annie's warm spirit and unwavering positivity immediately caught his attention. Despite their age difference, the two quickly formed a connection built on humor, kindness, and mutual respect. Skeptics doubted their compatibility, but over the years, David and Annie proved their critics wrong. They navigated challenges together, including adjusting to life in America, settling in Arizona, and building a shared future from the ground up. One of David's biggest accomplishments came when he prioritized his health, shedding a significant amount of weight and improving his overall well-being. Annie, meanwhile, embraced her entrepreneurial spirit, launching a clothing business that reflected her heritage and personal style. Together, they established a life in America that seemed stable and promising. But despite their successes in the US, Annie always kept one foot in Thailand. Her strong bond with her family remained unshakable, and fans saw her return home frequently. Expanding their family, a dream fulfilled in Thailand. In July 2024, David and Annie announced that they were expecting their first child after years of openly discussing their struggles with fertility. Their daughter, Mintira, was conceived through IVF, marking a triumphant moment for the couple and their fans who had rooted for their journey to parenthood. What shocked many viewers, however, was their decision to welcome their baby in Thailand rather than the United States. Annie felt strongly about being close to her family during her pregnancy, and David supported her choice. When Mintira was born in March 2025, Annie was surrounded by her parents and siblings, who played a critical role in helping her adjust to motherhood. The couple also took important legal steps to secure dual citizenship for the daughter, ensuring flexibility for their family to live and travel between both countries in the future. Why Annie is hesitant to leave Thailand. Months after the daughter's birth, David and Annie remain in Thailand, and it doesn't seem like they're returning to Arizona anytime soon. While David has made solo trips back to the US for work and family commitments, Annie appears deeply rooted in her homeland. One major reason is her reliance on her family's support. During her pregnancy and in the early months of motherhood, Annie leaned on her parents and siblings for emotional and physical assistance. Fans have seen how close-knit her family is, and it's clear that she feels more secure raising her child in a familiar environment surrounded by loved ones. Another factor is the ongoing delay in securing a US visa for Annie's mother. During a segment on 90 Day Diaries, David and Annie revealed that they had looked into bringing Annie's mother to America, but the process would take at least 2 years. For Annie, that wait is simply too long, especially when her mother's help is so vital during this early stage of motherhood. Annie has also begun creating content in Thailand, often featuring her family. This new dynamic shows how much joy she finds in being at home, where she can integrate her loved ones into her public life and career. David's pull toward America. While Annie seems perfectly at home in Thailand, David's situation is more complicated. As an American man who spent most of his life in the US, he has many reasons to want to return. David has 3 adult children from his previous marriage, Ashley and Brittany, both in their 30s, and Jacob, who is in his 20s and preparing to marry his fiancée in March 2026. Missing out on key family milestones is undoubtedly difficult for David, who has always tried to stay connected with his children despite the distance. In addition to his family ties, David has built a solid career in America. Over the past year, he made significant strides in real estate, even closing his first $1 million transaction. His achievements prove that he has both the skill and network to thrive professionally in the US. But being away from Arizona has disrupted his momentum. In May 2025, David appeared in one of Annie's Instagram videos, where he revealed he was juggling multiple jobs and even interviewing for new opportunities in Asia. While he maintained his work in American real estate remotely, he seemed less energetic and more stressed. For a man in his mid-50s, the constant hustle may be taking its toll. The emotional strain of staying abroad. David's willingness to remain in Thailand despite his personal sacrifices speaks volumes about his commitment to Annie. Still, fans have noticed that he doesn't always seem as happy as he once was. The stress of working multiple jobs, being away from his adult children, and living outside his comfort zone likely weighs heavily on him. From an outsider's perspective, the situation seems imbalanced. David thrives in the US, where he has strong professional opportunities and family connections, while Annie flourishes in Thailand, where she has her family's support. For now, Annie's preferences appear to be taking priority, but it's uncertain how long David can maintain this arrangement without it affecting his well-being. A future at a crossroads. The big question remains, where will David and Annie ultimately settle? On one hand, Annie has many reasons to want to remain in Thailand, at least temporarily. She is deeply attached to her family, feels supported in motherhood, and has even found ways to create content and expand her influence there. On the other hand, David's career and family are firmly rooted in the US, and his long-term happiness may depend on returning. One possible solution could be splitting their time between both countries. With the daughter's dual citizenship, they have the flexibility to divide their lives between Thailand and America. While this arrangement could be exhausting, it might also allow each partner to meet their personal and professional needs. Another possibility is that Annie may eventually agree to relocate to America once her mother secures a visa. That way, she would have the family support she craves while allowing David to return to the environment where he feels most comfortable and fulfilled. Why Annie should consider returning to America. From a practical standpoint, moving back to America may ultimately be the best decision for their family. David's real estate career is thriving, and he could focus more on growing his business if he were based in Arizona. This financial stability would benefit Annie and the daughter, reducing the stress that comes from juggling multiple jobs abroad. Moreover, David would be able to spend more time with his adult children, especially as his son Jacob prepares for marriage. Annie, in turn, would have the chance to integrate her Thai heritage into her life in America, just as she did with her clothing business in the past. Raising the daughter in the US could also open new opportunities for Mintira, from education to healthcare. While Thailand offers a loving environment surrounded by family, the long-term benefits of living in America might outweigh the short-term comfort of staying in Annie's hometown. Conclusion: a love story of compromise. David Toborowsky and Annie Suwan's story has always been about compromise. From the moment they met, they've had to balance the cultural differences, family expectations, and personal dreams. Now, as new parents, their challenges have grown more complex. For now, it seems Annie's happiness in Thailand takes precedence, and David is willing to make sacrifices for her. But their future remains uncertain. Whether they eventually return to Arizona, continue splitting their time between two countries, or build a permanent life in Thailand, one thing is clear: David and Annie will face these decisions together, just as they always have. The journey shows that love isn't always about perfect balance, it's about finding ways to support each other, even when the path forward isn't easy. Fans may not know where David and Annie will ultimately settle, but they can be sure that this couple's story is far from over.